Welcome to the International Day of Calm. I hope that you have been enjoying your day so far. I'm Melissa McHenry, and in this session, we are going to explore divine rest and what Judeo-Christian literature can teach us about using rest as a tool for maintaining calm. Our time together will be spent in the following way. This will be an interactive session, so I do hope that you have something that you can capture notes on as you reflect on your current practice and plan to sustain rest in order to live calmly, not only today, but every single day. As I shared earlier, my name is Melissa McHenry, and I want to take a moment to share my skills and experience with you to help ground our time together today. I'm a doula certified in hypnobirthing, helping expectant people prepare for labor and delivery in the most calming way possible. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, believing deeply in the power of healing hands. Along with that, I am a women's wellness herbalist focusing on helpful herbs that support our bodies from puberty to menopause, in addition to being a Zumba instructor. I have been an educator for close to 20 years, and I'm currently the principal consultant at Along the Road Consulting. I help churches develop strategies to increase engagement through social media and Christian education programming. So let's ease into our topic for this session as we explore concepts of divine rest. We'll start in the beginning with rest in the book of Genesis. In the Judeo-Christian account of the earth's creation, we see a 6-day process where the high God created the heavens and the earth and all living beings. At the end of this creation, the Judeo-Christian high God took some rest. So in Genesis 2, verse 3, we learn that, quote, God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all the work that he had done in creation, end quote. My interpretation here is that not only did the Judeo-Christian high God make the seventh day holy, but in so doing, they also made rest itself holy. That stands out to me as important because not only, especially living in North America, right, but more specifically in New York City, where things are moving at lightning speeds at all times. New York City is, after all, the city that never sleeps. But we know that not sleeping is detrimental, right? Sleeping is essential. And so I've had to do a lot of inner work to even get comfortable with the idea of rest and realizing that rest is not synonymous with being lazy and that rest is, in fact, holy. And that was a huge shift for me. So I'd like us to take a moment to pause here for you to reflect on this question that you see. What is your current relationship with rest? Do you see it as something to be earned? Is it relegated for certain times of the day or even the week? Or maybe resting is what we save for vacation that we take a few times a year. I know that many years ago, I was guilty of frequently saying things like, especially living in the rat race, I'll rest when I'm dead. And I realize now how unhealthy that is, especially with my current understanding that rest is holy. So we'll take 3 minutes on the clock. What is your current relationship with rest? Give you time to think about it, process it, write it down, draw it out, sketch it out, whatever you need to do to just get it out of your mind so that we can do some more deeper reflection on our relationship with rest and how to get more of it. All right, we'll come back together. And I want to thank you for engaging in that reflection. And I would encourage you to continue reflecting on your relationship with rest, not only today, but as an ongoing practice. I like to consider this work a marathon, right? Or training for a marathon, because it really does take time to reprogram ourselves. I'll speak for my I and speak for myself. It's an ongoing practice, right? Of reprogramming myself out of harmful habits and mindsets, especially when it comes to self-care, calm, and rest definitely being within that realm. So we get in the book of Genesis the sanctification of rest. But what does that look like for humanity? Later in the Bible comes the mandate to keep the seventh day as holy. In other words, that no work should be done on the seventh day. But still, what does that mean? What does it look like to be at rest? For some who follow the Judeo-Christian law, it means literally not working on the seventh day. But what does rest look like for the millions of people on earth with various belief systems and ways of life? If we take sleep off the table, especially since we know that not all sleep is restful sleep, right? You ever wake up groggy? You wake up still tired? You wake up irritated? That likely means that your sleep was not restful, right? That you had an agitated sleep, that your body was not able to actually rest while you were sleeping. So, not considering sleep as rest, I want you to take some more reflection time to describe the ways that rest is practiced in your culture. What does rest look like for you, in your community, in your culture? Take 3 minutes. Welcome back. We're going to hold on to that. So we're layering these reflections, right? So first, what is our relationship with rest? And now, what are the ways that we're familiar with the practice of rest, right? Grounded in our culture and who we are. And so as we go a layer deeper, right, thinking about the importance of rest, it's important to rest, not only because rest is holy, as we see if we think about, right, divine rest as described in the book of Genesis. So rest as holy, but there's also some health benefit to resting regularly that we don't want to overlook. When we rest, it is more likely that stress and anxiety are reduced. Our mood tends to improve when regular habits of rest are in place. Our blood pressure can see more healthy ranges when we regularly rest. Immune health improves as a result of rest. Inflammation, which in turn impacts many aspects of our bodies, right? Our overall health, the way that we feel, can be reduced when rest is a regular part of our lives. And so recognizing that there are actual benefits to rest beyond not being busy, beyond not feeling tired, right, all the time, has also helped me shake the notion that resting is laziness, right? I have to do a lot of work to undo being idle, right? And looking at being idle as actually I'm resting. And so it helps me to put into perspective the importance of not overworking, because if these are the benefits of resting, the opposite is the danger of always being on the move, right? So if I'm not resting, my stress and anxiety are increasing. If I'm not resting, my mood is worsening. If I'm not resting, the chances that I have a raised blood pressure are greater. If I'm not resting, then my immune health is probably decreasing, right? And my inflammation is probably increasing. And so we want to make sure, I know that I definitely want to make sure that I'm holding myself to the promise of rest in taking this pledge to be calm. In making the seventh day holy, and subsequently making rest holy, I firmly believe that giving the earth and all creation rest also becomes imperative in the biblical narrative. So there's a challenge, I believe, for human beings to be in right relationship with the earth. For me, that means seeking out natural spaces to experience rest and calm. It means living harmoniously with the earth and making life choices that don't further harm the earth as we seek healing through rest and calming practices. In other words, our healing should not come at the earth's expense, as the earth is also entitled to rest, right? And we want to honor that as well. And so you've had a few opportunities in our short time together to reflect on your current practices. And I want us to take a moment to build on those reflections. If you don't currently have a regular practice of regular and complete rest, what are some steps that you might take to incorporate intentional breaks throughout your day, throughout your life? Or maybe you are a resting pro and calm is already the way that you move through the world. What are some steps that you might be able to take to support others in taking rest and making it a regular practice for themselves? I'm going to give you 3 more minutes to respond to one of these prompts, depending on your lived experience. And then we'll come back together. Before we close out, I would love to lead us in a guided meditation to practice some rest. Thank you for engaging in that reflection. And I really hope that these opportunities to stop and pause and think and deeply reflect about our relationship to rest, the ways that we see rest manifest in our lives through our culture, and now steps that we can take to incorporate some rest or to help other people find their resting moment. I hope that these reflections have been helpful in getting some clear next steps for you, and would really love us to engage in some rest right now as we've gone through this cycle of reflection and planning, to experience some rest. And so as we move forward with our day, holding on to the idea that rest is holy. Would you join me? Sit however you are comfortable, whether you are sitting in a chair, lying down, back against the wall or the floor or the back of your seat. Get as comfortable as you can be. We're going to be here for a few minutes. I'm sitting in a chair. My feet are flat on the floor. My palms are resting on my knees. And I invite you to take whatever posture would be most comfortable for you in this moment. I like to engage in mindful resting with my eyes closed. I invite you to close yours or keep them open if that works for you. And as you get comfortable where you are, I want us to do some breathing together. I'm going to start by taking a deep breath in at the count of 6. I'm going to hold it for 2 counts, and then I'm going to release. Would you join me? And now exhale. Inhale deep for a count of 6. Exhale. Now on our next inhale, I want us to practice exhaling for a count of 7. We'll do this 4 times, but we're going to slowly release that breath. And so it'll sound something like as you get all of the air out of your system. So let's breathe in for a count of 6. Good. Give yourself a catch-up breath if you need to between inhales. And when you're ready, go for it again. Inhale for a count of 6. You're doing a great job. Let's inhale one more time. And our final inhale, breathe in really deeply, count of 6. Wonderful. I'd like you to come with me on a journey. I'd like you to, as you continue breathing deeply, imagine your favorite place to be. Call it to mind. Call the senses to mind. Call the sounds to mind. If there are any people or other living beings around you, when you are in this place, see them, hear them, feel them, smell them. And inhale the way that this place makes you feel. Take in all of that goodness into your lungs really deeply as you inhale. And exhale. Continue breathing deeply. Take in all of the things about this place that bring you joy. And as you exhale, release the things that you might be carrying right now that are not serving you well. Release the anxiety, release the tension, release the fear, release the upset, release the confusion, release anything that is not serving you in this moment, not serving you in life. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Enjoy your place as we begin to make our way back to our present reality. Bid farewell for now to all that you see around you. We're going to begin to come back together. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers if you can. And we're going to take one final inhale. We're going to do this one to a count of 4 and exhale slowly to a count of 8. And then I'm going to count down backwards from 3, and we'll be back together in virtual community. Inhale. 3, we're coming back together, preparing to open our eyes. 2, welcoming ourselves back into the present reality and our contexts where we are. 1, open, refreshed, awake, and present. Thank you so much for engaging in that brief moment of rest with me today as we move forward in our days, embracing divine rest. Thank you so much for joining me for today's brief session on embracing rest. Please feel free to keep in touch by visiting my website or emailing me at info@melmchenry.com. I'm Melissa McHenry, and I hope that you stay safe and that you rest well.